Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. I'm Billy, the host. Welcome back to the show. 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 I'm Billy, the host.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Billy, the host. We're joined today by producer Trent Ludzack.
Hello.
We're in the beautiful Trent's Unnamed studio in Marietta, Georgia. And we're joined today by our special guest, Josh Padgett.
How's it going?
There he is at, what is it? Canvas Run.
Ruin.
Canvas Run. I'm sorry. Which is a shoegaze band.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking about musicians on stage doing witty banter versus like stand up. And I'm saying I think a lot of like frontmen or whatever you want to call it, people who have access to a mic should give stand up a try, because when you do stand up, it's very different than just saying something in between a song, because you don't have any instruments or any other bandmates to kind of pick up the slack for you.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. I think that there is, like you were saying, a level of, I guess, confidence, but not quite confidence to say anything that might be perceived as funny, in order to just kind of like maybe have some comic relief in the middle of like a transition to a song, or maybe to feel not so vain about self-promotion. You know, that's the one that's hard for me. Is a lot of frontmen that I really admire and like a lot are the kind of reserved frontmen. Like I'm in a shoegaze band. I guess I'm not trying to model myself after them per se, but like Kevin Shields, he, like, the term shoegaze kind of came from the British press giving like negative press to these bands that came up in like the late 80s, early 90s, who had a very kind of detached stage presence, and they would just stare at their pedal boards the whole show.
Dorks.
Yeah, totally. And I really identify with that. I was like, yeah, I don't want to try and pretend to be some archetypal frontman.
Guitar dorks. That's what they are.
So
there's nothing wrong with that.
Totally.
You need those guys.
Yeah, you do.
But I think, like, at the same time, you are putting on a show, right? You're an entertainer. So if you could do like improv or stand up, then it could just be another like fun skill to learn.
Sure.
Of like, here's how I can ride the wave of the crowd's momentum and say something that'll get them captivated and hooked on what I'm talking about.
In my opinion, someone told me this recently, was there's no like wrong way to have charisma. Like there's no wrong, everyone has their own kind of charisma. A lot of people have the really energetic, hype kind of charisma.
Yeah.
A lot of people have the kind of like introspective, enigmatic charisma. And a lot of people have the funny charisma. You know what I mean? Where they can like have comic relief. I'm definitely like somewhere in there. I don't know which one that is, but I don't really subscribe to any of those, to be honest with you.
Chaotic neutral.
Yeah, chaotic neutral, I suppose. I rolled a nat 1 on my charisma.
There you go. So the band is shoegaze. How would you describe the music, like, for fans of what?
So for fans of like My Bloody Valentine, Slow Dive, a lot of people don't consider Smashing Pumpkins shoegaze, but it's like adjacent, like like Siamese Dream, Smashing Pumpkins, or Gish, like those two records specifically. The Cure, Jesus and Mary Chain, Mozzie Star, stuff like that.
Is that like the music that you love, and that's like what you like to make?
I'd say so. I'm in a lot of different camps musically.
Well,
I love metal. Like I was in high school, like I was a total metal kid. I was that total like elitist jerk who was like, that's not real metal. Deathcore's not metal. You know, I was that guy for like all of high school, and then I graduated and I was like, you know, I really like REM. I really like Neil Young. That's really stupid. And now I have like, you know, I think a lot of kids have like that kind of elitism about something, You know what I mean?
Okay, what era was it? Like high school? What?
I graduated 2011.
Okay, we're the same age then. You're
Yeah,
30?
I'm 30.
Yeah, I was like a Warped Tour kid. So
Oh, okay.
You probably would have been against us at my high school.
So I had like this resurgence of like appreciation of especially emo music, like, and when I was about 20, 21, when I saw Panic at the Disco live. So they played at my college when I went to University of West Georgia.
Yeah.
And Panic at the Disco played and Third Eye Blind played. And I was kind of like a nascent fan of Third Eye Blind, but mainly because of like Graduate and like Semi-Charmed Life and stuff like that. But I was like, oh, cool. Oh, Panic at the Disco's playing too. Okay, I'll see how this goes. And I went and I was like an instant fan. Instantly. And then that just kind of was like a snowball. So I got really into emo music like in my like when I was like 20 years old. Like I missed the whole wave of like now I love bands like Taking Back Sunday and The Used and all that stuff. Huge fan of that.
See, I was exposed to all like the emo kind of more like pop punk stuff at a younger age. So for me it was always like nostalgic. Then high school rolled around. A Day to Remember was big, and 4 Years Strong was big, and breakdowns were cool.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, breakdowns were cool. And they're still pretty cool. Yeah, they're still cool.
Dude, when you got a Honda Civic with like a 2 12-inch subwoofers in the trunk, you got to play some breakdowns.
Yeah, and then just like the 808 comes in and it just like shatters the wind, like the windshields like next to you and stuff like that. Just the 808 drops.
Yeah. Well, they didn't really start doing those until like later, right?
I'm not sure because
that's all metal is. Like every 4 bars is an 808 drop.
Yeah, and everything's like to a grid. Like every note is recorded individually, and then they like move them.
I think an AI could make metalcore.
That really scares me.
Yeah,
that's terrifying to me. Honestly, just the thought of that.
It's
yeah,
not. They're just that's the Stone Age right there.
That's the Stone Age.
They're just entering the Stone Age. They're not quite there yet.
I hope so.
I saw some AI video. It was like Donald Trump and Joe Biden eating spaghetti together.
Yeah, and there was the tier list, the Discord tier list for like the greatest Zelda game. And it was Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, and I think that was it. And they were just like arguing about which Zelda game was the best Zelda game. And it's like, it was.
You know, I think there's kind of a lesson to be learned here with the AI stuff. It's like, if this is going to be a tool that can help you do something, then you better learn how to use it and like at least kind of understand the basic concepts, because otherwise there could be money on the table you're leaving behind.
Yeah. For me, I think it could be really helpful like in medicine and like maybe like just like maybe like any kind of like scientific advancement. Art is touchy for me because that's kind of it's touchy.
Well,
for
hey
me.
man, you just gotta be better than the AI.
You just gotta be better. Yeah,
it's like
can beat me at chess. Yeah,
if you want to be the best at chess, you gotta beat the IBM Super Dragon or whatever it was called.
You gotta play solitaire for like your entire life.
You gotta have finished Minesweeper, you know, at least. Come on now, human race.
You gotta master MS Paint, yeah.
Either the AI is better than you or it's not.
Yeah.
Bro, Minesweeper's an easy one. I crush some Minesweeper, dog.
I'm terrible at Minesweeper, dude.
I crush Minesweeper.
I never beat it, man. I saw my mom beat it one time.
I'm awful.
Do you know how to play it? Or are you just a random clicker?
Yeah. I get it.
I don't.
The little numbers point to the bombs. And
I don't
you gotta
get it.
kind of do the math, but I always blow myself up.
I did like RTS games though. I got those.
Okay.
Yeah, like Warcraft 3 and Dota, stuff like that.
Oh wow.
StarCraft.
Dota.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
You ever play like League of Legends and stuff?
I stopped there really because I kind of held on to Windows XP a lot longer than I should have way back in high school.
I recently built one of my friends with the help of someone else XP machine. I think it's a Pentium 4 with
That's a throwback.
It's a Dell Optiplex, I think. But yeah, somebody brought one in. My friend has a retro video game collection. So he has like all the Roller Coaster Tycoon and the Sims games for XP.
Man. Oh, dude, that's like Rosebud, semicolon, semicolon. You buy all the furniture.
He's got the Dell CRT monitor.
Oh, dude, the one that like kind of when you turn the lights out, it just kind of has that light beam that goes down. Yeah, those are great.
It's pretty cool. I think he's got the Dell keyboard and mouse, just like old school workstation. That was my first computer. Was the Pentium 4 Dell, the purple one.
I think I had a Pentium 3 or something. I think my first computer was actually like a Windows 2000 or something. And I remember trying to install World of Warcraft on it and it not working. And I had to like wait until my parents like bought themselves a computer to be able to play it. I just had the game just sitting there. And it was like a year until I could actually play it.
Dude, I had like a Windows 98 PC.
Yeah.
Because my mom did like graphic design and stuff. And so I would play this game on there. It was like a kind of like a ship game. It's called Tyrion. And yeah, you could upgrade your ship and stuff. It was a super cool game. Kind of like the ship would scroll across the bottom of the screen and shoot upwards. There's a million games like that, like 1948 or whatever.
Oh, geez. Okay.
And I would play that game, but my first game station was Sega Genesis.
Oh, okay.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Surprisingly. Aladdin?
Yeah.
Yeah. My first game system was actually my uncle's NES. And he gave me the 3 combo game cartridge with Duck Hunt, Super Mario Brothers, and the track game. I forget what it was.
Track and Field, I think.
Something like
what it was called.
It had a mat. I had that. And then I got a PlayStation 1 and then I got an N64, and I didn't get a new console until like the GameCube or something. And because I was a PlayStation kid.
Dude, there's a bunch of kids in my neighborhood, and when we got an N64, we were the most popular house in the neighborhood.
Yeah, playing Smash Brothers.
Everybody was coming over playing Smash Bros. And Mario Kart. Dude,
yeah, I had an N64. I got a
Pokemon Stadium.
Pokemon Stadium was awesome. It had like the thing you could plug into your controller and play Pokemon Blue or Red on it.
You could trade. Or like play. You could play with your party in the cartridge. I think.
That was a simpler time. I had an N64, and that's kind of how I discovered my love of Zelda. Yeah, was like on there because I got Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and Majora's Mask is still like my favorite Zelda like of all time.
See, man, I was a kid and I was bad at video games, so the time limit would always mess me up in Majora's Mask.
It gives you a sense of urgency.
Yeah,
like it's a lot. It's still one of like the most unique like mechanics that they put in any video game, really. I think
I should go back and play that one. But
it's incredible.
I liked Ocarina of Time because
of course.
You could just take your time, and it was. I probably never finished it as a kid, but
yeah. What's funny is I finished Majora's Mask first, but I didn't beat Ocarina of Time until I was a little older too, probably 10 or 11.
I really didn't get into like the RPGs until like GameCube. I would play the little like the Game Boy Advance ones. Yeah. Turn-based RPGs, Pokemon games, and Final Fantasy and stuff.
Final Fantasy was interesting for me too because I had it as a kid and I couldn't beat it. Like I had no idea what to do. And I remember actually playing it like one time, and my little sister, she actually grabbed the second disc of Final Fantasy VII out of its case. I was like, I'm going to borrow this real quick, and I'm going to put it, I'm gonna do something with it. And I was just so engrossed in the game, I didn't really even think about it. She comes back, and it's like broken in half.
No.
Yeah, so she broke the second disc.
Oh, man.
So I just never, and then I got Final Fantasy VIII, I think.
Why did she do that?
Yeah. She was like 4 or 5 or something, children. I don't even have an explanation.
Little did she know.
Yeah, that's really important. It's very serious.
I don't think you can even find those anymore.
I have a copy of it.
Oh, really?
Now, I actually beat it for the first time a few years ago because I went through this phase of just playing through like numerical Final
Yeah.
Fantasies, but I did start with 7 because I couldn't beat the first one. The second one's only in Japan. You have to like emulate it. Same with 3. And I think 4 was on the SNES.
Were you ever real good at any games like StarCraft or anything?
I was pretty good at StarCraft, I'd say. I always played Protoss.
I've always been like bad at video games. It's
Mm.
just like I think I'm just not good at them. I like playing them, but
Yeah, that's all that
I
matters.
suck.
Yeah.
And there's games I'm better and worse at, but at the end of the day, if you put me up against somebody who's actually good at it, then I lose.
I guess I could say I'm not that great at them either because I, and my friends would just like play Smash Brothers Melee just
Yeah.
like incessantly all the time, like my late teens, early 20s or whatever.
Of course.
And I went to Dragon Con and entered into a competition, for Smash Brothers.
Destroyed.
So I beat the first 2 people
Like Thanos versus
like
me.
not easily, but like I was able to get through, and this one dude just annihilated me. Like the
Yeah.
third one in, he whooped me.
There's people who are just exploiting the mechanics of the game on there and have just like studied this
Mm-hmm.
like monks their entire
Yeah, I
life.
button mash.
They've sworn to celibacy. They don't bathe. All they do is wave dash.
Wave dash, yeah, or just like up B. Yeah.
Dude, I went to one anime con and they had the Smash. They had Smash going all day, like to tournaments and everything, all in this kind of like. It was basically like a concession area, but it
Mhm.
was closed and they had a big projector and all that. And you could not stand in there for 5 minutes. It smelled so bad in there.
I don't know what it is, man. Like as a nerd, I don't want to like maybe disparage nerds, but it's true. The level of hygiene at cons is very questionable, and it's kind of. I just went to MomoCon and had a similar experience.
Yeah, I was going to go, but I couldn't make the time. I had stuff going on.
Yeah. My girlfriend went to Disney World and I went to MomoCon.
Nice.
I think I'd prefer to go to MomoCon
She just went to Disney World by herself.
with her family.
Oh.
I didn't want to. No.
She's just walking around.
I
Disney World.
didn't preface that at all, did
No, I
I?
really wish my boyfriend was here with me, but he had to go to this anime convention and see
So I had
Lawrence Fishburne.
I had a cover gig scheduled the day that they got. Actually, they left on a Thursday. I had a cover gig scheduled the day after. And I was like, MomoCon's on set. I might as well go to MomoCon. And actually, I think there was like a concert I wanted to go to on the following Sunday, but I ended up not going. But yeah,
You ever been to Disney World?
Nope.
I've been when I was a little kid, and then I've been to like Disney Springs while on tour a few times, just to like.
What's it like?
Disney Springs is just like whatever. It's like shopping area.
Mm,
Kind of pointless.
I see.
But Cuban food was pretty good.
I'm not a roller coaster guy.
Disney World was fun.
Yeah.
They just have a lot of stuff going on there. I'd like to go back now they got all the Star Wars and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I've never been into roller coasters. They kind of terrify me. So like, there wasn't a whole lot for me to do. I didn't really want to go.
Roller coasters
Yeah.
terrify you?
Yeah, they do.
That's the point.
I don't like being scared. Aside from like horror,
But you're not going to die
You don't know
because
that.
a high schooler is running that thing.
You're right. Yeah.
And he mumbles something into the mic, and then you go, and you always come back all right.
You have a point.
Except that one guy that fell off that roller coaster and died.
Some guy got decapitated or something.
on the internet. You
Yeah.
seen that video? We don't need to watch that one.
Yeah, let's not. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I love horror. Like I like being disturbed by like media, but like actual like I don't do haunted houses either because jump scares. I'm not
Yeah.
into those. I'm more into like suspense and like being disturbed.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
You do or don't like haunted houses?
I do not.
Well, but being scared is like kind of fun.
When you're at home and nobody can hear you scream,
You ever watched The Shining?
a lot.
That's a good movie.
That is a good movie. Jack Nicholson.
One time I did get stuck on a roller coaster at Dollywood.
Oh.
It was like I was on the roller coaster with my mom too, and she got stuck on there, and they literally had to come like get us off the ride.
That's terrifying.
And I was on that one because it was like mild. My mom didn't want to go on a roller coaster. I was like, well, this one's just like a little like.
Yeah, but if you're gonna trust large equipment at any destination, Dollywood doesn't strike me as a top tier.
Well, you know.
I mean, I've never been, but it sounds
I'm
It sounds pretty rednecky. Like there might be a lot of gum holding it together.
Dolly,
Maybe.
No, that's Dolly Parton, man. She's
She is a national treasure.
yeah.
Yeah.
The same guy who did her boob job does the roller coasters.
They're well engineered.
So it'll
then.
live forever.
Clearly a master of his craft.
Jeez. I've been to Pigeon Forge once, but that was not for Dollywood. It was for the Titanic Museum. It was really cute, honestly. Like you walk in, you get a passenger number, and you go.
Where is this?
It's in Pigeon Forge.
Okay.
It's called the Titanic Museum.
That's not the Ripley's, believe it or not, where the Titanic is like upside down or something.
No, it's like it's just like a little walkthrough of a replica of the Titanic.
That's amazing.
And they give you a number, and they give you like a passenger, like the identity of a passenger and a number, and you go through the whole exhibit, and it's like, you know, a die-cast replica of the like inside of the Titanic. There's pieces of it that are underwater and stuff. And at the end of it, you find out if you lived or died.
Okay.
Does anybody else feel like Tennessee's an odd spot for the Titanic Museum?
I think it is, yes.
I feel like landlocked doesn't really make sense with that.
I would have lived. I would have.
We should take the Titanic and push it somewhere else.
I would have used yoga to increase my body temperature, and then
That's how you would survive?
yeah.
Yeah.
Billy's in downward dog on a floating door
Yeah.
when the lifeboat
I'll never
rolls
let
up
you
on
go.
I would have started murdering other passengers so there were more lifeboats for me.
Would you really? You could have
Billy's
just,
building
yeah.
a fleet of lifeboats.
It's near them. Everybody's gonna die if we're on the Titanic going down. I don't want to be the guy sliding off, then gets hit by the propeller.
You could have
in
joined the
CGI.
the string ensemble, and just done that.
Yeah, but they died.
Did they?
Of course, they went down with the ship.
Oh, that's awful.
That's not my job.
Yeah, that was the whole
It
story.
depends on what I'm there for. It depends on why I'm there. That's what I want to know.
Oh,
What? Am I just a stand-up comedian on the ship? No. I'm murdering all the women and children. Say, well, I guess the lifeboats are for us now.
did you start an affair with a?
Maybe I shouldn't put that on the internet, but
Maybe not.
that's the truth.
That's your call, buddy.
Yeah, I would have done the affair with the rich girl, though. That would
Yeah,
have been.
you would have done that.
Well, you know.
You would have been Leo. In the back of like one of those horse carts or whatever. That would have gone down. You could have floated on that,
Yeah.
I guess.
But that's, you know, you can keep her alive or whatever. But
But not you?
she can have the door, but I'm taking the lifeboats.
Oh. Yeah. I'll never let you go, Billy.
Yeah.
Should let you go.
History favors the living, I've noticed.
Maybe you're right.
What were those musicians' names that went down with the ship?
I don't know.
Exactly. What's the point?
I don't have a point.
Also, you know, maybe they were flat. Maybe they weren't that great. Maybe they had a big ego. Maybe they're like, I'm the best cello player there is. I'm playing on the Titanic, and all the other local cello players are friggin' losers.
They probably got paid pretty handsomely for
That's what I'm saying.
like being on the Titanic. So like you would have had to have some.
But like playing music while you're going down with the Titanic, beautiful music for everyone who's dying to listen to. That's a noble cause,
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
Doing stand-up comedy on the Titanic while everyone's dying? No.
You don't think so?
No. I'm getting out of there.
There's a time and a place.
I'm finding a way.
Hey, man,
I'm
What do
riding a
you
sea
think's going to
turtle.
be on the other side of this? You know, just start trying to crowd work.
Yeah.
You might be able to pull that shit up.
Look
if
at this
not
guy.
The big one.
He's going to hell for
Yeah.
sure.
Any guy with shoes that dirty's going to hell for sure.
Yeah, you try to crowd work him.
Yeah. Jeez. That's one thing I hosted I didn't host, but like I provided the PA to a comedy show once,
Yeah.
and I got crowd worked, and I
Nice.
was really hoping that wouldn't happen because I'm like
Okay. That's good insight.
I was like
Because we've been saying that, like,
yeah.
our friends have been saying, like, stop trying to crowd work people at open mics because 90% of people don't want to be crowd worked. They don't want to be on the spot. They don't like public speaking.
yeah.
So you're ruining the crowd for everybody who goes after you.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, there's definitely like a level of like boisterousness, is that a word, that people display when they go to a comedy show. Like if one dude's just really engaging, like you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
probably feel good about that. But like me, I'm over there just having a drink,
Yeah.
operating the mixing board or whatever, and
Now everybody's laughing at you.
and I'm just like, why?
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Like, this one dude was like, I can't hear what you're saying. I can't hear it because I tried to tell him I'm the sound because he's like, what are you doing, man? How you doing tonight? And I'm just like, I'm good. How are you? And he's like, yeah, what are you doing here, man? I'm like, I'm just running the sound. He's like, I can't understand a word you're saying, man. I don't know what this means because I was like pointing
that
at
means that guy had nothing funny to say and he was fishing for anything.
Yeah, no, he was pretty funny, I thought, like as the set went on. And there was a lot of funny people that night, actually. I don't know. I don't know, like, how to gauge that.
Was it a
suppose.
bar or a brewery? Hey, man, it's subjective. Whatever you think
Yeah.
is good is what's good.
That's how I feel, too. Yeah, it was a bar. It was Dancing Skulls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that place.
I was asked to, because their PA was messed up,
Okay.
and they couldn't, like, figure it out because it was, like, one of those wireless PAs.
Yeah.
And the owner couldn't figure it out, so I was like asked to bring mine and just manually operate a PA with like a mixer and stuff like that. So
Yeah. That's sick.
that was it. It was easy as pie.
I love Dancing Skulls. I've been up there many times.
Yeah, they're closing, but they're rebranding. I
It
think.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
This is a tough location.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
used to be a place called Brooklyn Cantina. I played there once. It was 99X did this thing for this band I'm in called Palpable Defeat. They're like a prog metal band. We're not super active, but like they had 99X did this thing where you submit a song, and they picked like 5 or 6 bands that they liked to perform for like a 99X showcase or something.
Okay.
We played like 3 songs and got like 3rd place, but it was still fun.
That's cool, yeah.
It was still fun, and the guys who won were awesome. They were really good.
Yeah. Yeah, we did some of the 99X stuff, like the Must Not Suck show.
That was what it was.
They used to come on Sundays and stuff. Yeah.
I think it was hosted by that or something. Like it was that kind of showcase, as in like we played at the venue.
I don't think we played a live show with them, but yeah, we did the online stuff.
Yeah.
Then that was cool. That was very interesting, having your band being played on the radio and stuff. It's kind of sick.
That's a trip, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Why doesn't the radio play any like alternative music that people actually like to listen to? I've always kind of wondered that.
That's a good question. I think that there isn't really a good answer because there are arbiters and gatekeepers that kind of decide what taste is a lot of the time. And that's why it's so important to, understand that taste is subjective.
Yeah. But when you see a band like The Story So Far and they're playing like shows to like 500 people and every single kid in there is going nuts, it's like, why doesn't this band get played on the radio where they could get even bigger and have a massive following?
Well, they aren't nascent fans either. Those are actual like committed fans. Those are people that really like the band. And I think I'd prefer to play to a crowd of like 500 people that really like the music I'm playing than like a festival where everybody's kind of like of like 20,000 people where everyone's kind of absently like having a good time.
Yeah,
but
they're having their own adventure going on.
it's a
in
little
there.
less personal.
Yeah,
for
sure.
So
Yeah, I did notice like the bigger shows are quite a bit less personal, like arenas and like just watching shows where it's like a comedian could be on stage in like a big stadium or something like that, and this guy and his girlfriend are having a whole conversation sitting right next to you, where it's like that would never happen at a comedy club.
Yeah.
They would all be sitting in there pretty much being quiet or talking to the server or something.
Yeah, for sure. I was in the way back, and I was chatting with, at Dancing Skulls recently, was chatting with this person next to me, and the host was like, hey, can you guys tone it down a little bit? And I was like, not even talking loud.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I am so sorry. Like, I was asked a
Yeah.
question, and I was responding to this person because they asked me a question, and, you know, I got drawn into the rudeness, I suppose.
Yeah, one of the other differences I think between like playing local shows as a band and being a comedian is like other bands expect you to sit there and watch their whole set if you play a show together, whereas comics, we're like, we give each other that grace of like, you can leave, you don't need to sit there and watch me.
Right. It just depends on the situation. Like, you know, if, like, for example, like someone in the band has a kid or something, I'm like, dude, like, I totally understand.
So many times growing up, though, people would, and I never really subscribed to this. I would do it because, like, I would do it religiously because
Like
I knew you had to, like, stand there and watch the other band. But I would be like, I don't want to watch this band. And why do they want me to watch them if I don't even like their music, you know?
Like social pressure to do it. Yeah.
Or I might even like the music and I just don't want to stand here and watch your band play right now.
In the venue that you don't really want to be at or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do we hold each other to this standard of like, you have to watch my set just because we're on the same show together,
Right.
instead of you can do whatever you want and I can do whatever I want because we're two separate bands.
There's a bit of resentment, like if the opening band has a really big crowd and like the last band, just everyone's left, including the other bands. I mean, I can understand why that's a little like upsetting or frustrating, but like
That's your problem though.
I completely
honestly.
yeah.
The world ain't
Yeah.
so nice, you
Yeah.
know?
That's where I'm getting at. It's just kind of like you can be upset about that, or you can, you know, maybe find people that like your music more.
Or hit those guys up that brought that big crowd. Say, hey, what'd you guys do to bring all these people out? Was that your friends, your family, your brother brought his whole church youth group or something like that? Like,
Mhm.
and then learn how to start getting fans instead of just being like, well, they all left right after they played. Of course they did. They came here to see that band, and then your band is just kind of also there.
I know
and
what you
there's
mean.
a million bands out there, so
Yeah.
it's just like I understand why you want to kind of have a community and then everybody helps everybody, and that's how you kind of support local music. But like the reality is, most people are not gonna care
I know what you mean.
unless you give them a reason to.
Yeah. You're right.
So many times bands would play at Swayze and they'd be like, come inside. If you're smoking cigarettes, come inside. They spend 10 minutes doing that. I'm like, if you play something I want to listen to, I'll come inside.
So
I can hear it from out here.
Here's my actual feelings on it. I don't want to beg people to like my music.
Yeah.
I don't want to like just put myself out there and just demand that you listen to me. I'm not like that. Like I'm not a competitive or confrontational person.
Yeah.
So like whenever that happens, I would just continue playing. I might be a little morose or a little bit more detached, but I'm still going to, because I came there to play. I came there to do what I said I was going to do, and I'm going to do that. And depending on how it goes, like if someone likes it, that's great. If someone doesn't like it, I'm going to go home and book another show.
Yeah.
And maybe next time they will.
Yeah.
And that's really, and it's all about like the people that hear you too. Like you're another really hard thing to kind of like come to terms with is, you know, that's why there's so many different kinds of music for so many different kinds of people. And not everyone is going to like you. And that's what's really important about, like, I think becoming a musician and coming to terms with that. Not everyone's going to like what you do.
Yeah.
But if you like what you do, that's really all that matters.
Yeah. For sure. It's definitely going to be like some people like it, some people don't like it, but you also have to like factor in like with social media now, people are exposed to so much stuff, so that kind of changes the game when it comes to the music industry, where it used to be just like people go to shows, and then if one band is playing with another band, then I'll check that band out and I'll listen to them too, and maybe I'll buy their CD and listen to them at home and stuff. But now it's like people only go to a show if they've already seen the band or heard of the band, and they go there because they saw them online or something. That's what I've noticed, at least.
How do you feel about that?
I have a very like cynical view of the music industry right now.
Okay.
And comedy is kind of the same way, but also like comedians, we really like, I feel like standing there watching a band set that you don't really want to watch is like less genuine than comedians, because they will leave, but then we'll actually help each other out in like certain ways.
Like get you a show.
Like work together. Yeah. Like put you on a nice showcase, film something for you.
It's a little bit more it's a little bit more genuine.
Yeah. Have you on the podcast or something if like,
right.
If you got something going on you want to promote. And so I like that about the way comedians work versus like bands, where it's kind of always like, I felt like Georgia bands were always kind of very competitive with each other, and nobody wanted to like work together.
Yeah, I guess I had a similar experience, but I always kind of distanced myself from the competition, because I am, like I said, I'm just never been a competitive person, like in any regard. Not even like in Smash Brothers. Yeah. Like if someone's like way better than me at Smash Brothers, cool, that's great, let's keep playing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I'm not real competitive either. And I definitely think it's kind of some, maybe even just signature of Georgia, just like this competitive artistic scene, because it's that they do it in comedy as well. Like people are a little competitive. The comedy scene is great, and the music scene was great while I was in it. I'm not too sure about a lot of the local bands coming up now, because I don't book shows anymore. Yeah. For bands. Right. Because that's a nightmare.
What was your favorite thing about being in the music scene?
Definitely the people that you meet. Crazy, interesting people. And I loved playing shows. I loved the my boys and all the people that used to come out to shows. Like, I don't know, that's where I really felt like I fit in, was when I was hanging out with those guys, and talking to new people. Even though I was going through like tough times and like figuring it out, I think like a bunch of those weirdo rejects were my family.
I know what you mean. That's kind of how I feel too, I suppose. I found a lot of competition like in cover musicians, mostly like bands that like cover bands, or like cover like solo artists. I've seen a lot of like competitiveness, like who is better than who. Yeah. Like who does this better than who. This guy's the best singer. This guy's the best guitar player. Like there's no like
King of the Clowns.
There's no like concept of like just doing what you like to do and that being good enough.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Being friends with everybody else who does it, because it's like, right. It's always the people who are not that great that want to be real competitive too. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah. And the people that are like genuinely like I respect or not. Like
that, like, what are you trying to prove to me?
Yeah. This was like
prove it to me by rocking.
This was also a long time ago, so it's a lot different now, I think, but in my opinion. But like, I don't know, like I've taught like older musicians specifically too, like that kind of gatekeepy kind of attitude about.
But I think that competitive behavior often gets them ahead in certain ways, and like Maybe they've learned good things come from being competitive like that. But yeah, like you said, those aren't the people I respect.
Right.
Those aren't the people who I think are the masters of the art form or whatever.
Right.
It's always just like some dickhead made it this far by being a dickhead, and now here we are.
I'll say this. The most fun I've ever had, like, playing music is oftentimes recording. Like, just recording with, like, other people, like, in a
Yeah.
studio.
So much fun.
I've always just, like, I love playing live, too.
Dude, we traveled to record one time.
Yeah.
We went to a producer in New Hampshire,
Mhm.
and it was or Rhode Island, I mean. And it was like summer camp, dude. We were just hanging out, recording the songs, coming up with ideas, like figuring out how the album was going to go, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
We did 2 weeks. We slept there in like cots and made food in his little kitchen and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a nice setup too, like super nice studio, soundproof booth and all that. So great experience.
Yeah, I'm going on tour for the first time at the end of June with a death metal band I'm in called
Okay.
Mirthless.
You haven't been on tour
Never.
yet? Okay.
I've played out of state, but I haven't.
My advice, dude, is
Yeah.
travel light.
Yeah.
Like, because you're going to be in the van with 5 other people, and everybody's going to be losing everything. Or I don't know how many people are in your band. Like,
4, but we're actually taking 2 cars because it's East Coast. It's not it's not like cross country. We're just getting our feet wet, but it's like 4 dates.
that's fine, you know. If you can make it work with 2 cars, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
I'm pretty sure that's how we're gonna do it. The
Of
logistics,
course, like the most efficient way to do it is to get everybody in the van together and all agree to make like payments on a reliable van and trailer, and you buy it all outright, but you all have to make payments on it, and of course that's gonna fall apart because band members
Yeah.
are stupid and broken.
Well, yeah, having a car,
But that's the best way to do it.
an additional car note. Yeah.
Yeah, because then one person has to put it in their name, and then good luck choosing that guy.
Yeah, or like getting someone to agree to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough. I never thought about that, really.
That's the best way to do it, because what my band did was we all scraped up as much cash as we had, you know, our entire bank accounts across all of our money, and what we came up with was $1,800.
Oh.
And we bought a van cash for $1,800, and it was a piece of junk. It broke down every single tour. That's not what you want to do.
You could get it diagnosed at like a mechanic and then just get the total of like all the repairs to make it reliable.
Bro, God was diagnosing that van.
Oh, really?
That God was the maintenance and the mechanic and the driver occasionally.
Oh, dear. That's rough. I'm sorry.
Hey, we made it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you're here. Yeah.
So, you know, shout out to God.
Yeah, I think there's something really kind of like Three Musketeers-ish about like touring in a van and
Yeah.
going.
Oh, we were for sure brothers, you
Yeah.
know, like and like it's tough, you know, being in a band, especially even if you're good, like and you get a little bit of success. It's tough to make it work as a band because you got to be on the road, touring, playing shows all the time. You can't be home. You can't have a dog or a pet or a God forbid a child.
Yeah.
Because some of these bands are on tour like half of the year.
Yeah. This is like a week, so it's like it's like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah. So we're going to like North Carolina, South Carolina, Savannah.
The longest time I was on tour was like a month, like 30 days. And
Wow.
I was like, I miss my cat, man. I want to see my cat.
Yeah. I would miss my cat.
I don't want to be
too.
away from my cat for 30 days. She's going to forget who I am.
It's true, yeah. But she'll move on. Yeah. But I think I guess I remember one of my favorite things I ever saw you do was Fist Face.
Okay, where did you see Fist Face?
Swayze's.
Okay,
Yeah.
early Fist Face era, man. We've been getting a little active. I've been busy, so I haven't been doing as much. But
Yeah. But my favorite was the Spittoon song, where you like put a mic on the trash can and just spat tobacco into the trash, and that was the song.
Well, the joke was I would put an entire can of chewing tobacco in my mouth and then and then I would spit, and it would play like a riff, and then I would spit.
Yeah.
And then I threw up at the end of that song.
I can imagine. I would too.
Yeah, but that was like, I was just ripping off things that I had seen other people do at Swayze's. Whenever like just a band would not show up, or
I would do Fist Face.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Dude, it used to be like twisted people's arms to do Fist Face. Like they wouldn't want to do it. Like the door guys and stuff, they would be like. Because I don't, for some reason, the door guy always played drums there. I'd be like, dude, we got to do Fist Face tonight. They'd be like, oh, I don't want to do it tonight. It's like, come on, man, please.
Yeah. And like the one where like Corey would riff and he'd go, Rah! And he'd go, Rah! And it would just go back and forth. And it was great. Yeah.
We have an album on Spotify.
You too?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Album. ABLUM.
Album.
By Fist X Face, one word.
Album. Fist X Face?
Yeah, follow us because we need more monkey.
All right, following. Venus Imperfection? Did I say that right?
Yeah, this song is called Penis Inspection.
Inspection. Okay. I can't. Alcoholic. Okay. Yeah.
Riding a cigarette is my favorite.
Riding a cigarette?
No, riding a cigarette. There's an I in
I kind of like that Fist Face is kind of like low profile. Like, not that many people know about this.
So do you want to cut this?
No, not at all, because I'm going to be honest with you, Fist Face, I think, is the funniest thing I do.
You do?
I love stand up, but this is so much funnier than that.
I don't know. I mean, you're good at stand up too.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I've watched a few of your specials.
But I never run out of ideas for this.
It's kind of hard not to it's kind of hard to run out of ideas for this, I would imagine.
I feel like I don't. And I truly feel like the spirit of Billy Hill comes over my body when I come up with some of these ideas.
Yeah, that was like, man.
We got whole songs now. We can play a show.
You should play a show. I'll come.
We can. We don't, but
it's amazing.
I got to see a Fist Face show once, and it was great.
Yeah. Well, we got cut short that night. We had one more song.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let us play it. They were cutting us off.
Yeah.
Shelly asked me to play the late night mic at El Dorado one time, but I don't know about the logistics of all that.
What's the late night?
Bro,
mic?
that would be
like,
so sick.
It starts at like 11 or 10:30, something like that.
That's the only reason I have to go to El Dorado, so you should do it.
Yeah. We could do it.
Like play a show there?
Yeah, there's a open mic at this place in like Old Fourth Ward, like downtown Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
It's called Dynamic El Dorado.
They
do improv, stand up, like all kinds of creative stuff.
Oh.
And they have an open mic every Friday at like I think the sign up's at 10:30 and then the mic starts at 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's late.
Yeah. You usually get out of there about 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah. Typically at places
if you're hanging around for a while.
So a lot of open mics I've been to, like you sign up at 5:30 and don't play till 11 or 12 or something, and then
Yeah.
you're not out of it. Like you come there at 5 and you leave at 1.
Yeah,
It's like, dude,
It's chaos, man.
yeah, it's chaos. It's hard.
But
yeah.
I also feel like those late ones, those are where you meet like the people who are really out there,
Yeah.
like, grinding,
Yeah, you really do. 'Cause I mean,
getting
I got
stuff done.
my start doing music, doing open mics.
Yeah.
Like just doing
Really?
like solo acoustic stuff.
Dude, I got the Fair Shake T-shirt on for you right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I was in Fair Shake. Yeah, yeah, that was
I wore this for you.
no. Well, thank you. Yeah, I think I saw Fist Face on a bill with Fair Shake because a band canceled or something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think that's what happened.
Swayze's was like people would just not show up.
Yeah.
Remember Mine Man?
Of course I remember Mine Man.
Good old Mine Man.
What is
dude.
he doing? Where is he?
He was working for a church, I think. Last I saw him. I don't think he was like lathering his body up with oil and slamming
sliding.
into walls or anything.
Didn't he live there or something?
At Swayze's?
Yeah.
No. He could walk there from his house.
That's okay. That's what.
I've been to his house before. It's a nice house.
Mm.
His parents are Iranian and they got a nice house, man.
Cool. Yeah.
We used to go over there, and he had like the basement set up with like just a TV and couch and stuff. And my man could actually freestyle.
He could.
He's pretty good at freestyling.
Yeah, I remember they had like rap nights at Swayze's. You know, they just play a beat on the PA, and like, you know, rappers would come and perform. And they had like this one part of the night where like all of them would perform. Mine Man would perform. I had a friend who went up there and grabbed the mic on one of those instances and just, you know, Lose Yourself by Eminem.
My man loves stuff like that, though.
Yeah.
Like just like grabbing the mic, yeah.
Yeah, so you know Lose Yourself by Eminem, but
Yeah.
like the Mom Spaghetti part.
Yeah.
So over this beat, he just went, Mom Spaghetti, knees weak, arms spaghetti. He's vomiting on his spaghetti already. Mom Spaghetti.
Yeah.
And did that, and that was his rap. That was his freestyle.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it was funny.
We got real avant-garde with the performance art at Swayze's.
I'd say so. Yeah. Yeah.
It would
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
it would devolve into chaos at times, especially if you gave me or Mind Man a microphone.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember like during like some hardcore shows, I was friends with some guys in this one band, and the vocalist was like, I don't know the words to these songs, so you can literally, like, I just joined, so you can literally just take the mic out of my hand and do whatever you want. And Mind Man was all over that.
There was
Yeah.
one person who you may have seen, but I don't want to name, who would play on the acoustic guitar, and then he would, between songs, talk shit about everybody in the local scene.
Oh.
It was someone who did a lot of insane pranks and weird things, you know, like insanity.
I never saw this.
Okay. Well, it was Treefort. And and Lee,
I know Treefort.
yeah,
Yes.
and so he would do this bit where he would play like a song on the acoustic guitar, and then he would just like annihilate everybody in the
He
scene.
just would roast
Every
everyone.
every local band, and I thought it was so funny at the time, dude.
I remember like between every song they would play the national anthem.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
And then they
That was like new age era of Treefort, like, and even when I saw Treefort, it was still kind of like newer, but like the first time I saw Treefort, like Lee had like a diaper on and a pitchfork on stage.
It sounds
and I
like
was like kind of nervous because he kept pointing to me and then pointing to the pitchfork.
Grim Reaper.
And yeah, and like this other dude would like drive his motorcycle into the venue, and he had like a pack of douches, and he would like clean his asshole with the douches
In
and
front
then
of
he would,
everyone?
like, chase you around with it.
That's
So
terrible.
yeah. It was like so stupid.
That was Swayze's. That's what that's the kind of stuff that happened. I was in a band called The Wild Hunt, And we had like serious songs, but like we always played our joke song at the end, and it was called the Tom Waits. If you know who Tom Waits is.
Yeah.
And we came up with a drink that tasted as bad or like as gruff as his voice sounds.
Okay.
And it's called the Tom Waits. And you take a bottle of beer and drink about half of it and let it sit out for a day or so. Then you smoke a cigarette like all the way down to the filter and then drop it in the beer.
Ooh.
And then you fill that beer back up with like cheap, strong domestic liquor. And you chug it and you pull the cigarette butt out with your teeth. And if it relights, you're a hero or something.
Oh.
Yeah. We wrote a song about that drink. And we would always play that song at the end of our set.
You guys were actually drinking these things?
I didn't, but someone did. And someone I know did relight their cigarette.
That's disgusting.
It's horrible. But it started out as a joke, but then this dude actually did it. And I was like, but yeah. So in that song, I'd play an acoustic guitar, and the drummer had an aluminum trash can, and he'd hit the trash can with a 2x4, like on the beat. And I had like an open-tuned, like dobro style, like riff I was playing, and the singer would just like impersonate Tom Waits and like stomp his feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. There's a video of that somewhere. But yeah, that song is on Spotify though. You can listen to it. I think the singer actually played a wash tub while like live, because we recorded it live, and he just played a wash tub or like
Nice.
a laundry, like an aluminum laundry basket or something with a drumstick to get that effect.
Is that online somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay. We can listen. Is there anything that you want to promote right now?
Yeah, my band Mirthless, the death metal band I'm in, we're going on tour June 28th. We put out a few songs recently. It's tech
Okay.
death, like technical death metal. I just do vocals in that. Canvas Ruin dropped a record. My shoegaze band dropped a record earlier this year, and it's on all streaming platforms, what have you. And
Sick.
yeah, that's what I got going on.
Where you say East Coast on the tour? What cities are you doing?
Winston-Salem.
What's the date?
I can tell you. I got the tour dates right here. Give me 10 seconds.
Hopefully people in these cities listen to this podcast.
That'd be kind of cool.
I don't. I
So,
doubt they do, but
so the name of the tour is called Technically a Metal Tour.
okay.
And I have the flyer in my group chat that I am scrolling through that has every date on it with venues. So June 29th, we are in Winston-Salem at Monstercade. Monstercade or Cade? I'll say Monstercade. June 29th. July 1st, we're in Savannah at the Sentient Bean.
Okay.
July 2nd, we're in Charleston, South Carolina at the Ridgefield Roadhouse.
Okay.
And July 15th, we're in Gainesville, Georgia at the Blackstrap Rock Hall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick. Thanks for coming through, man.
All right, thanks for having me. It was really, really fun.
Yeah, it was a great time. Let's get out of here. Peace, y'all.